What's up, everybody? This is episode, I don't even know, 65 of the Tori Franco show. And excuse me because I am a little congestified right now. And I'm like sick every other fucking week. But last episode I talked about pivots in life and how 1 minute you have this paved road in front of you, and then all of a sudden another path is laid out before you. And that's just life in general, right? But I want to talk about where I've been lately and speak about how I've been trying to push through it and what I've been doing, and like what I've been doing to combat certain things, certain thoughts that are entering into my brain, right? So as y'all know, I suffer immensely from imposter syndrome, from self-worth issues. That is like my lesson in life, right? It's my Mount Everest. It's what causes me to self-sabotage in any situation really where I don't feel like I belong or like I'm good enough. I get into this mindset of like, what's the point? This person will never love you. What's the point? Nobody cares to hear whatever you have to say. What's the point? You suck at this anyway, so why even try? And then you get into this very, like, it is sort of a victim mentality of like, all right, well then I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just not going to take action on anything, right? And I'm finding myself in that space perpetually lately, like over the last couple of months. And I don't know if it's because of like the death of my grandmother. I think when it comes to certain traumas and stuff like that, I internalize a lot. I take a lot of my pain and I internalize it. I turn it onto myself. I point fingers at myself and I blame myself, even when innately I know I'm not to blame. So I've been in this place where I am genuinely fucking tired. Like, and I think it's okay to recognize that, right? Like, I am tired of where I've been lately. You know, like, I guess I'm tired of the mindset I've been in, and I'm tired of feeling like I'm like running on a hamster wheel. And that's exactly how I feel. And I feel like I keep hitting dead ends and I keep hitting dead ends. And it's not true. It's not a real thought. Like, there's so much potential. Like, you could be looking at so much fucking potential, but your thought process and your worth will see something else. And it's not a lack of gratitude. Maybe it is. Maybe essentially when you really strip it down to what it really is, it's just a lack of gratitude and a lack of like taking a step back and taking things in, right? It's this comparing yourself to other people, comparing yourself to where other people are in life, whether that's romantically or financially or just in life in general, and thinking like, I'm supposed to be there. And then it's the reeling yourself back in and remembering you're not supposed to be anywhere other than where you're at. That everything in life, as cliche as it sounds, happens for a reason. And I think this is advice that I could use. And so this is advice that I am giving. You know, like, I've been told, and I've been listening to podcasts and speakers and stuff like that. And like, the best coaches are the ones who've gone through the thing, right? So I couldn't coach softball if I never played it. right? I can't coach self-worth and self-love and confidence and all of the things that come with it if I have not also struggled with my own self-worth issues, and still continue to this day, because it's this reality that it's not, self-development and self-love is not a there's no destination. You get to a point where you feel good. You get to a point where you feel okay and you feel on top of the world and confident, and everything around you is going well and everything is happening around you, right? And then life just tends to happen and knock you down a few pegs, as life always does. And then you kind of have to rebuild. It's this consistent rebuilding and knocking down and rebuilding and knocking down and rebuilding and knocking down. It's I would equate it to, if you've ever seen the movie The Money Pit, it's kind of like that. Like, you build one thing, you put one thing up, and it's like, yes, I finally did that. And then something else on the other side of the fucking house falls down, and then you got to go take care of that. And then you're like, okay, yes, I took care of that. And then literally something in the basement fucking breaks, and you're like, okay, I got to get, that's what this is. You know, that's what life is, right? And so lately, especially for me, like I said, for me, I internalize, I don't know if I've said this yet, because this is the second time I'm recording this, but for me, when things happen, when traumatic things happen in my life, or things that make me upset or sad, or heartbreaking things happen in my life, I internalize everything. A relationship ends or breaks, like, you know, there's a breakup or whatever, a connection breaks that means something to me. Realistically, I'm turning all of that onto myself. What could I have done better? What could I have said? How could I have handled this differently? You're obviously not worth anything. You know, this person walked away from you. This person doesn't want you, or whatever. You're obviously a fucking huge piece of shit and like don't deserve anything, and chip away at my confidence every single fucking day with certain things, especially within the last like year or so of my life. Like, I've completely changed, and I see the change within myself. I'm sure you guys can see the change within me as well. Like, if you go back to Tori 2020, when you guys first probably came across me on TikTok, and you look at Tori 2022, it's two completely different people. And I'm still trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing overall. I think I've grown a lot. I think I've learned a lot. I don't watch my mouth at all anymore. But that's a new development since my grandmother has passed away. I'm like, fuck this, bro. Like, I'm not keeping my mouth shut on anything or anyone. And if anybody wants to get fucking offended by what I gotta say, then by all means. Like, nobody gives a fuck. And it's not even in a negative way, like nobody gives a fuck, but like, people don't care if they hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? Not that I'm out here trying to hurt people's feelings, but I'm also not out here trying to tiptoe around the truth of the matter in certain situations, you know. And I could give an example, but it's private. But some shit happened with my family, and y'all know if you've been watching this podcast, y'all know that like my dynamic with my dad's side of the family has been it's been a fun dynamic, and I recognize where I went wrong. And where I went wrong was abandoning ship abandoning the issue, running away. And essentially, I hold that regret every single day, right? And so there's a lot of feelings and emotions that are happening in my life right now that I'm like processing. I'm processing a lot of things, since my grandmother has passed away. I'm also distracting now. Instead of with alcohol, I'm distracting with fucking schoolwork and work and all the shit and my responsibilities, which, okay, might not be the worst thing because I'm productive, but at the same time, I recognize that there are things I need to feel, right? This may be all over the place, and if it is, it's because I am, so just go with it, right? But all of these things that are happening, the point of what I'm trying to say is everything that is going on in my life, internally, things that I don't say, things that I do say, things that I feel, what goes on behind closed doors, like all of these things have caused me to like internalize, turn in on myself. Like I turn on myself. And I'm just out here in every experience, like completely debilitated from movement lately, right? And maybe that's where I'm supposed to be, but I don't feel like it is. I think I'm supposed to bust through the barriers that I put up for myself, the roadblocks. Like I am a roadblock. Like I turn in on myself. I beat myself up. Until I really believe the things that I say within myself. Like, you're not good enough. You weren't good enough for that friendship. You weren't good enough for that person. You weren't good enough for that opportunity. You weren't good enough. Like, whatever it is, like, well, why try? You don't have any talent. You know what I mean? And like, I start to believe that to the point where I'm just like, what is the point? And then I recognize there are other things that I'm just so uninspired by in life. And it's this constant question mark in my brain of like, can she do it? Can you do it? Can you do this? I meet a girl. Let's say, can you be in a relationship? The answer is no. Let's just put that out there. As far as relationships go, I can't. I still have a lot of fucking healing to do within myself, right? But that was a bad example. But like, well, I mean, it's not, because it's happened. I met girls and I'm like, can you make this person happy? And the answer is no. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times the answer is no. And it's not because I feel like I can't make somebody happy. It's because I'm consistently telling me there's something missing within myself that I need before I can make somebody happy. Like, you need to be graduated from college, at least with your bachelor's, before you can meet somebody. Like, these are stupid thoughts that I put into my head that make absolutely no fucking sense, because my bachelor, you don't need a bachelor's in order to love somebody. Like, I've literally loved every woman that I've ever loved has been loved without a bachelor's degree. So like, I don't need a bachelor's degree in order to be in a relationship, but I continue to tell myself, like, there's always that next thing, right? Like, I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's degree and I'm already looking at master's programs. I'm stopping at master's, by the way. I am not getting my doctorate. Absolutely not. I will literally fucking go play in traffic before I get my doctorate, right? I always told myself years ago, like, I'm getting my master's. I'm going to be a master in something, you know what I'm saying? But I always said that. That's always been a goal of mine, a dream of mine, right? But what I'm trying to say is there's this consistent, like, okay, once you do this, then you'll be good enough. And then I get there and it's like, okay, well, you still don't feel good enough. So once you do this, then you'll be good enough. And then I get there and it's like, okay. And this has been with anything that I've lost 40, 50 pounds. I got to the weight that not that I wanted to be at, but I got 40 pounds, 50 pounds lighter. Thought, okay, once I get to that weight where I'm comfortable, then I know I'll feel worthy of a relationship. Nope. Okay. Once I get into nursing school, then I know I'll feel worthy. Nope, that didn't happen then. And I'm obviously realizing on this journey, none of that has to do with anything, right? It's this need to simply take action. That's the point I'm trying to bring forth. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place with this, but the point I'm trying to make is if you consistently put those parameters on your self-worth, you will consistently feel worthless, because self-worth doesn't have to do with anything on the outside. It doesn't have to do with, for example, do I want to say this? Fuck it. I really don't care. I don't want to say this. When I'm wow, this isn't getting edited either. When I'm heartbroken, or I've been heartbroken, right, over a girl, you're like, okay, in my head, it's like, all right, fine. The ego steps in and is like, all right, well, you just get under a hot girl. The same amount of hotness, and you'll feel good about yourself. And so I do get under a hot girl, and it does nothing for the self-worth. In fact, makes me feel worse about myself, actually, because not only am I under a hot girl, but I'm under her or over her, whatever the fuck, for the sole purpose of validation, of trying to find something outside of myself that makes me feel worthy. And that doesn't work. What I've realized is that none of that works. You could take anything that I've gotten into, let's say within the last year, because within the last year is probably one of the bigger losses in my life. I stopped talking to one of my best friends, and that was rough, very rough, and it still is, actually, let's not even front about it. It still hurts. So anything that I utilized to cope with, let's say, that, drinking, talking to random girls to take my mind off of things, smoking, excessively buying things, let's say, any one of these things is just another crutch to try to fill a hole that you can't fill with these things, right? So you lose somebody, it leaves this hole, this void, and then you try to fill that hole and that void with meaningless things, right? It's like putting not even an artificial leg, because that, I mean, yeah, basically it's not the same. You can replace the leg with a plastic one, but it's not the same. It's still not attached. It's still not, it's synthetic. It's not real. Can you function with it? Absolutely. But are you still gonna think back to the times where you actually had a leg? Yeah. That's probably a horrible example. But the point is, I've come to this realization that all of these external things that I look to, a fucking piece of paper that says that I took enough credits to get myself a bachelor's degree, they're not replacements for my worth in life. The meaningless sex, the fucking alcohol, and all of these things, not my bachelor's, but all of those things, the alcohol, the fucking girls that mean nothing to me, the partying, the smoking incessantly, the edibles, and all of these things, they make me feel worse than just simply sitting with my own feelings of worthlessness at points. Do I sit in the worthlessness and say to myself, yeah, that's right, you're not worthy of this, and this? No. But do I sit in that and say, I recognize that I'm feeling worthless right now. And I recognize that there is nothing on the outside of me that can change that. I recognize that my worth is not predicated on whether Joe Schmo down the block, or my mother, my father, or the girl I last fell in love with. My worth is not predicated on their opinions of me or what they feel about me, right? Or what they think of me or what they think is right for me to do in my life. My life has been consistently trying to prove to other people that I am worthy. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know. I genuinely don't know where the fuck that came from. And now, after watching my grandmother pass away, and something shifted, and I'm out here just like, we're either gonna fucking talk about this and move forward in life and move past it and get it out on the table, or I'm fucking moving forward and I'm gonna level up in the process. Like, that's where I'm at in life. And I'm also at this place where I'm like, I'm not shutting my mouth. If you ask me my opinion, and my opinion is not lined up with where you think it should be, or what I think would make you feel good, I don't care anymore. Like, I used to fluff, like completely fluff, beat around the bush, and like try to just consistently make people feel good about themselves. And I'm still trying to do that, but if I have an opinion now, I'm giving it straightforward. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not like, oh well, blah, blah, blah. No, it's literally, well, this is what the fucking situation is, and if you don't like it and if it makes you uncomfortable, there's a window, there's a door, you can take a long walk off a short pier. That's where I'm at in life. Because you get to a point where you're just no longer in the business of trying to please others. You're just not trying to people please anymore. And you can respect people and still be 100% honest with them. I don't give my opinion when it's not needed. I don't put my nose in other people's, I try not to put my nose in other people's business. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a perfect person. I fuck up. I take accountability for those fuck ups and I keep moving. You know, I'm not holding grudges. I'm hoping nobody's holding grudges on me, but if people are, that's your shit to hold. Like, you know what I mean? It's not mine. So you gotta ask yourself why you're holding on to heavy baggage that you don't need to be holding on to. Like, you know what I mean? Because I've learned in watching one of the most important people in my family die, that you can't take that baggage with you, that emotional baggage. You can't take the physical stuff. You can't take the alcohol. You can't take the sex. You can't take the drugs. You can't take anything with you other than, I mean, like, you know, your soul. That's the only thing, right? That's the essence of you. But I'm not even trying to make this too spiritual. You can't take that emotional baggage with you. So why hold on to it and let it weigh you down in life, right? And so part of that emotional, letting go of the emotional baggage is speaking when you need to speak, speaking up, facing your demons, facing your fears in life, whatever that is. Like, one of my biggest fears is confrontation, and I'm working on it, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't. Like, I really genuinely, I'm out here hurting people's feelings, y'all. Like, respectfully. Like, and I know I am. But I don't care. If it's something somebody needs to hear, or something I'm just completely fed up with, like, that's it. And I'm also in this space where I'm like, I don't fucking owe you anything. I don't owe anybody anything. And right now I've been in this lull where I know the only person I owe anything to is myself at this point. Emotionally, like, I've fucked myself over way too many times just by simply turning in on myself and being my own worst enemy. And so the only person I even have space to owe anything to is myself. Because I don't, genuinely, I try not to, like, burn bridges wherever I go. And I try to really do the right thing by people. I really genuinely try to take accountability when I do stupid things. And Lord knows I'm consistently doing stupid things, right? But I'm no longer in the business of trying to beat myself up for that. And it is a battle every day. It is a battle between me and myself every single day. Meditation helps, keeps me grounded, but the best advice that I could give to somebody, if you're listening thus far, by the way, like, congratulations, because I know this is fucking literally all over the place. But the best advice that I could give to somebody who can relate to this is to keep going. And that's what I need to hear right now. And to go. It's not even keep going. It's go. Move. Don't let Don't let that voice be the barrier. Don't let that voice be the block. And sometimes you gotta bust through that blockage. And I've gotten lucky in my life, and I am truly grateful for the people who hold me accountable. Those are the people that I want to consistently be around, not the people who fucking hold grudges because I haven't been around or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't owe anybody my space or my time. I really don't. So those people I don't have time for, those people I don't have the energy for, like, you know, I don't need to explain myself to people about where I've been, who I've been with, whatever. The people in my life that hold me accountable, hold my hand to the fire, like, bro, do. You know, like, I have to give a shout out to Dina from The Apothecary, because she literally, like, calls me and she's like, are you fucking stupid? She'll call me and she'll just be like, you're not, whatever you just said you're doing, you're not fucking doing that. That's stupid. You're already doing whatever the fuck it is, you whatever, right? Like, people like her in life, like, I'm truly grateful for her, because she holds me accountable in life, and I need that that call out sometimes. So I feel like I've truly been blessed with an amazing group of people that I've come to know over the last year of my life, who are like soul fam, you know what I mean? And who I trust and love, and who see something in me that, quite frankly, I'm working every day to try to see in myself. And it's frustrating. It is so frustrating when people come to you and tell you how special you are, how much of a light you have inside of you, and you know for a fact, especially within the last year of my life, like, that light has been dimmed. Like, you feel it snuffed out. And I've been trying, it's like this, it keeps kind of like sparking a little bit, and I can feel the spark, and I know it's there, and it's never going to fully go out, but like, the flame used to be fucking lit. And I know that lately, within the last year of my life, it hasn't been, because it just feels like things just keep consistently fucking happening. And so right now I'm in this space in life where I'm trying to find the lessons in it all. And I keep saying that, but that's really where I'm at. It's so funny because I look at my content from 2 years ago to now, and I'm a completely changed. I'm different. I observe myself and my thoughts in social settings now, and in certain situations I'm completely different. I don't know if the spark is gone. I don't think it's gone. I don't know if it's just, it's fighting. It's fighting for its life right now. It's there, but it's fighting. It really is fucking fighting. But how do I make this? How do I end this? I don't know. I don't know how to end it, because there is no ending. It's still going, right? There might not even be a teachable, coachable moment in this right now. I always try to like give advice, and if I could give advice to anybody right now that is in a similar position or the same sort of situation where a lot has happened, let's say within the last year and a half of your life, or however long. And if you're in one of those spots where you can palpably, almost tangibly look back at a time and look at yourself and be like, wow, I was a lot more confident. I was a lot happier. I felt the power within myself. Like, how do I get back to that? If you're there, because that's kind of where I'm at, the answer is it's always within you. That power doesn't go away. You just have to acknowledge it and embrace it. And so it's funny, not funny, but it's incredible when people come to me and they're like, I see the light. I see something in you. I connect with you. I see the amazingness, the messages I get and stuff like that. And I'm so grateful for all of them. And they truly make me emotional. But it's this crazy thing that I get these messages and I don't believe them. Like, I don't feel that way 96-7% of the time. I don't feel that way. And I'm working on that. And I think I'm almost there. I'm almost in this place where I'm like, wait a second. This is what it feels like. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, this is what it is. This is what this feels like to stand in my power. I've had a couple moments within the last couple of weeks where I'm like standing in my power and I'm like, wait a second. This is what it means to face a situation. This is what it means to step up and speak up for myself. And this is how it feels. And it feels fucking good, right? Instead of cowering in the face of whatever. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching, the point is to continue, to keep going. That you're going to hit walls in life. We're like in our own little pinball machines. And we consistently are bouncing off different walls. And like the end goal is to get into that, that goal hole, whatever the fuck it's called, right? But like you're consistently hitting walls and hitting blockages. The point is to continue moving and keep going. Even when you feel like you don't have the strength to do it. Even when you feel like there's no fucking point. There's always a point. Always. And so that's it. That is all I have to say. I know this might be an all over the place message. But y'all know I just gotta keep it real. I love you guys. To all my patrons, I appreciate you guys and your input on the coaching questions and stuff like that. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to start coaching people one-on-one. It's gonna be incredible. I'm working on it. Hopefully June, July. I'm thinking June. I'll be officially coaching people one-on-one. I'm taking on, I want to say like 5-6 people who actually really want to work with me. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about it. I love you guys. And I hope this makes sense. All right. I'm out. Peace out, everybody. Bye.